What is going on, everybody? This is a quick, brief tutorial on how to send out an email from PowerShell. PowerShell is really powerful. It's used for automation and different, skills and different things that you use. And you can add this video to your arsenal and, kind of get more familiar with how PowerShell works and different things of that nature. So I thought this is a really cool skill to have, and something that you might find useful down the road if you want to send out an email to one of your friends or your email itself. This is what this video is kind of for. So I'll walk you through how the script works, what I'm doing, and if you've never used PowerShell before or the PowerShell environment that I'll be using, this might be helpful just in the terms or in the sense of getting more familiar with that platform. So let's kind of start off. This is my desktop here. Let's start off with some of the prerequisites you're going to need. So as you can see here, I've already was able to deploy the script and to run the script from PowerShell. And this is an actual email that I sent from the PowerShell environment. So this is the title, hello from PowerShell. This is the email address that I sent it to, which is my email address. And then this is the body of the text, which is this is a test. So all this was sent from PowerShell itself. So let me go ahead and get a drink here, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, cool. So to kind of just give you an idea of the prerequisites that we want to make sure that we go take care of before we get started on this is you want to go to this URL link here, which is myaccount.google.com /less secure apps. And what this does, it's basically telling Google to allow third-party apps to send information or to kind of do something in regards to bypassing that parameter that Google sets up. Google, your Google account, your Gmail sets up to block certain things from entering in. So in a way, it's kind of like a firewall feature, but we're only turning this on simply for the purpose of throwing or putting this email into production. So I would recommend turning this off, but when you do come to this website or this link, you will see that this is off by default. I don't believe that you would ever see it on for any reason unless you determined or set it on, but once you come here, you're going to want to turn this on. So we're going to have it on, and we are going to turn this off when you're done. So I highly recommend turning it off. So again, the end goal is to have an email sent from PowerShell. So this is pretty much all we got to do is go to this email, myaccount.google.com /less secure apps, and turn this on. That's really all we have to do on that part. So now let's start with PowerShell itself. So if you haven't never used PowerShell, we do have two different platforms. You have the PowerShell command prompt. I'm going to open that up just to give you an idea. So if you came here and let's say you wanted to use the get content command or whatever other command that you wanted to use, you can use it in this prompt. And by all means, you could actually write this whole script within the prompt itself. Highly don't recommend that, and that's why we're going to be using the other platform, which is PowerShell ISE. So we're going to type in PowerShell ISE. And we're going to run this as an administrator. ISE stands for Integrated Scripting Environment, just in case you're wondering the acronym. Now, when we're in this interface, we're getting practically the same thing, only with a lot more features. We can save our script. We can open up some tools, options. You can change your font size. I don't know if you'd ever want this, but you can make it like 22 or 24. I guess if you're really not able to see the font at all, then you might want to make that smaller or bigger. So I'm going to make the font size 10, apply, go back to 9. I like 9. Whoops. Why no? 8. Well, I think 10's okay, actually. Let's keep it on. Whoop. Come on now. Not spend too much time on this. Apply. Apply. Okay, cool. Okay. So for the purpose of this video, I actually think it's really neat when you hit control and then use the minus and plus button. So I'm holding down the control button on my keyboard, and I'm clicking on the subtract and plus button. Plus would zoom in, and then minus would zoom out. So we'll make this a little bigger by zooming in, zooming out. So if you really don't want to mess with your font too much, you don't really have to, because you can make it bigger in those terms. Now to kind of get you more familiar with this interface, if you were to click up here, top right, the script panel, script pane, I think they call it, this will bring you into the prompt itself. So if you were to come here to PowerShell, you would see this prompt and this prompt here. Now, they're practically the same thing, only that this is being directed to the System32 file directory instead of it being directed to your user profile, which in my case is Casey. Really the only difference. So actually, I want to change that. We're going to change directory with the Matilda key, and we're going to be brought back to the default directory of my actual profile itself, which is nested in my C drive. So That's why we see C and then / users and whatnot. So this is all having to do with your C drive. I'm sorry, your file directory location. So we're gonna, and again, if you drop this down, drop it up, you can get the scripting platform interface, and then you'll have the prompt, command prompt here itself, PowerShell itself. But by all means, and intents and purposes, you're gonna want to make sure that you use the scripting portion of this. But if you did want to maybe change the style, you can have more of a vertical look, as opposed to the horizontal. I'm more of a bigger fan of the horizontal look, but you can make it into a vertical look if you want it. And then of course you can just make it the script interface itself without the command prompt even being there. So I'm actually going to drop this down just a little because we're not really going to be using that until towards the end. So let's get started with the actual script itself. So the first thing we're going to do is create a function. We're going to call it send email. My keyboard's kind of funny sometimes. I'll be writing something and it just simply won't take the key. So hopefully we won't have too many of those issues with this video. So what we're doing, I'm just kind of writing it out and going along. If you're not familiar with the syntax, this is a curly bracket. This is a function. We're actually creating the function here. We're opening up the parameters as well. We're actually calling this function or this portion of the script parameter. Let's add in a bracket. This is just a normal bracket. We're going to call it parameter. We're going to open up another bracket brace there. Mandatory. And then we're going to set it to a Boolean of true. And overall, what I am doing is I'm creating the structure of the body, the subject, and the two parameters of, like, two as in like who you're sending it to, like email you're sending it to. So this is all just kind of laying out the structure of the email itself. Okay, so what we'll do here is we're going to create a string. String. I want to make this, yep, string. That's okay. I was making sure that I don't make it capital. And then we're going to set our variables. So we're going to set, variables are set with a $sign to capital. Now, something that's really cool is that you can come here. I'm going to drop that down. You're going to come here and you can, at the end of this whole entire layout format, you can copy that, drop down to the next line, and then paste, because we are going to make 2 more. And then you could add more information without having to draw it all out, which I find really great. It's definitely convenient because you don't want to have to keep writing out the same information over and over if you really don't have to, especially when it comes to scripting. It can be very overwhelming. But we're just going to neaten this up a little bit, make it a little bit tighter, clean it up. I'm a big fan of cleaning up your script as you go. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to create a comment, which is basically just letting whoever stumbles across this script, whoops, if I can spell, that this is what this portion of the script is doing. So they're going to come here, they're going to see that there is a username, this is a variable, and I'm going to actually just write this portion of the script out, and I'll explain what it's doing here in just a minute. So just kind of follow along here. And let me come over here and grab the location I need. Boom. We're going to close that. Make sure that looks good. And then we're going to set my location of the data that it will be searching for. Oh, whoops. Forgot to close that. There we go. And again, if you come here, hit copy, go down, paste, and then you can change this to password. So these are credentials. This is what we're doing. We're actually creating a variable that says, hey, go grab my credentials off a text file within my file directory. So, and I'll show you that it is definitely working, or it should be working. If we come here and we click F8, I should see caseyingram2012@gmail.com, which we do. So in the command prompt, you see caseyingram2012@gmail.com. And that is basically saying that this indicator is finding information within my text file. So if you were to come here and let's say you opened up a text file, notepad, and you typed in hello world, test, I love pizza, and this would be your 0 object location, your 1, your 2. So of course, for all intents and purposes, I do not want to exploit or expose my password. So if I was to click F8, this would show my password to my email, which we don't want to have happen. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to come here, you'd want to go to your file directory, and you'd want to find a place to nest in a text file. I'm here, text file. You can just, I'll just call this Gmail because I already have a gmail.creds. Come here, open that up. It's opening up on my second screen. And then just type in example@gmail.com. Password 1 2 3, and this could be your credentials that you would use to log into your email account. So you would come here and you would save it, and then you would do exactly what I did. I'm not going to save that. I'm going to actually delete this. Delete. And you would come back here. You would find this path. You would simply come here. Or I already deleted it, but you would come here. You find the path, and then you would add a backslash, and then actually add the name of the path there, the name of the text file. So I'm going to close that out. We don't need that anymore. But that's our two variables that we need for our credentials for this portion of the script. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the object structure of the actual script itself, or of the email itself, the body, the subject, the header of where the email is sending to. So yeah, so we'll just say create object structure, I assume. Object structure. That's just the best way to explain it, in my opinion. All right, so create another variable. We're going to create an object here. Email equal to at curly brackets. Drop that down. From, we're going to set from equal to username. Username to equal to 2. Cool. Subject equal to subject. Cool. smtpserver. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Equal to SMTP, and then you want to make sure to declare what email address the SMTP server parameters is going to follow, which in this case is Gmail. Body equal to @body, and then credential. Make sure I spell this right. It's very important I spell it right. Equal to, this part's a new object that we're going to create. System management automation. Oop, nope, automation, not automation. Hold on. Automation. There we go. PS credential. Argument list. And then we want to set our username and our password as the parameters within that purpose. Now this right here, SSL, it stands for Secure Socket Layer. SSL was deprecated years ago, and TLS is definitely the more desirable pick when it comes to HTTP security. Because when you're sending data in transit, SSL tends to send out that information in clear text, especially if someone was to use, or a threat actor was to use like a protocol analyzer. They can see that information through your packets. It's exactly why we're running the path parameters up here, because we don't want the clear text to show out within the parameters that you're setting up, especially when deploying or when creating a variable, because you have also shoulder surfers who can basically just run a get history command on your PowerShell, and they can see all the history and they'll see clear text. So if you came in here and you actually deleted that and then just put in your actual username, like for instance, Casey Ingram 2012 at gmail.com, if you did that, it'll work. There's no doubt it won't work. But for all intents and purposes, we definitely don't want to do that. We don't want to send out anything in clear text. That's not a good idea. And me being in the security field, I definitely highly recommend not doing that. So SSL at true. But for the purpose of this video, we are going to use SSL in order to send out this email from PowerShell. But it will not be in any way a risk towards me, because I put it in a file directory that a hacker would not have any access to anyway. So we'll set that to true. These are booleans. We're setting those to true. Let's clean up that code a little bit there. And of course, the last part of this script, we're going to send mail message at email. And we should be able to hit play and then see. Let's see what we get. Oh, hold on. Where's it saying that's at? Oh, body. Oh, okay. Whoops. So that shouldn't be there. Make sure that looks good. Okay. All right. So now at this point, so what I did was I ran the script. You can come here. You can come here and click the play button, or you can click F5. It really just depends on what you want to do there. But I kind of come up here and just click play. Now here in the command prompt itself, we do need to put in some code. So we're gonna actually call the function here, and then let's create 2, and then we're gonna send this. So this is what we're doing. We're actually sending the email at this point. So 2012 this is who I'm sending it to, which I wanted to go to me because I want to be able to validate I got the email. .com. Subject. Whoops. Subject. Full. Hello from PowerShell. Okay. Then body. Hello there. All right. 1 second here. Where is it saying that's at? Object at email. At email. Make sure that looks good. To not validate the argument on 2. Oh, is that because these are like this? Bonnie and Bonnie, true, true. Check. Let's try this. I know we wrote it out, but there must be something I missed. So let's play that and then try this again. Okay, so I already wrote out the script earlier. So what I did was there must have been something in the syntax, but it's pretty much practically the same thing. But there must have been something in the syntax that wasn't liking, and I didn't want to take the time out of this video to try to search for it. But make sure that anytime you're writing out script, you kind of watch your periods, watch your commas, watch your curly brackets, all that, because you'll just sit there forever and trying to figure out, you're looking for a ghost pretty much. But PowerShell is good at showing you, hey, here's where the error is. And like for instance, I'm going to give you an example here. Although I don't like to intentionally have errors, but you try to run the script itself and it's saying, hey, hold on a minute. We're seeing here that it's missing so-and-so at line 1, and it'll tell you line 7, which actually the mistake is at line 4. I'm trying to find out where it says at line 4. Line 4, here we go. So line 4, it's saying we're missing a comma at line 4. Okay, cool. We know that because we made the mistake, or I intentionally made that mistake. And then I come back here, and this did actually already send the email. My phone already lit up because I got my phone linked to my Gmail account. So we'll come back over here. And if you click on inbox, on my inbox, you will see here that here are the 2 emails. I actually sent quite a few earlier. But yeah, you'll see here, hello there, hello from PowerShell. I always like to kind of mess with it a little bit. Just come here and just like, I sometimes hate when scripting goes wrong. What's your thoughts? And then we'll send that. What's your thoughts? And you come here. I sometimes hate when scripting goes wrong. So this is pretty cool, huh? I mean, you can send a script right from PowerShell. I'm sorry, an email right from PowerShell using a script. So like I said, make sure that you come over here and turn this feature off. And Yeah, that's how you would do that. So I'm going to leave the description or the script itself in the description of the video. And if you like what you see, let me know. And I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos. This is actually my first video on scripting for PowerShell, but I've been learning a lot about PowerShell, and this is really cool. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos.